welcome back to our afternoon session from Cybersecurity World Asia 2022. And we're kicking off this afternoon session with someone I'm really looking forward to speaking to. It's Shishir from BlackBerry. You know, BlackBerry is a very, very famous name, but these days is famous as a security company, so I'm really excited to be speaking to Shishir. So I know you traveled a fair amount of time to come here. How's it been so far? Has it been enjoyable?
So far so good. I think I'm seeing a lot of players out there. There's a lot of announcements coming out here.
Yeah.
So very happy to be here and part of this conversation. Andrew, thank you for inviting me.
No, it's a pleasure, it's a pleasure. So why don't we just start maybe by just give a little bit, maybe a background about yourself and what you do at BlackBerry, and maybe still give some overview about BlackBerry's general direction these days.
Yeah, absolutely happy to do that, Andrew. So, I joined BlackBerry earlier this year, and I am CTO for the cybersecurity division of BlackBerry. And if you look at BlackBerry, after 2013, we made like series of acquisitions in the software, and we have transformed into more of a software, cybersecurity, and also in the IoT automobile industry. As far as cybersecurity is concerned, we have got a very rich product portfolio. And these product portfolios, when I'm talking about, we have a market-leading silence-based AI ML endpoint protection. And the intent was that this was groundbreaking because we know that the endpoint protection was mostly based on signature-based.
Correct. Yes.
And idea was to eliminate the signatures. Right. Signatures are always good in detecting good or bad malwares. And where we have the signatures to eliminate those things. But the intent was that even if the behaviors of the suspicious piece of code we can detect based on the AI ML, we can be much more predictive, right, before it has done the damage. So intent was that get that EPP, which is based on AI ML, no signatures required, and this is the next generation of endpoint protection, what our customers are enjoying, and they have installed in their customer base.
I think it was a very noticeable acquisition, and it's like you said, with signatures you can only protect against what you know.
Exactly.
And so Cylance was doing that, and I think it was a big statement of BlackBerry's intent to be a serious player. It was really at that point it was. Made it really clear where you were heading.
Exactly. So if you look at the cybersecurity part of it, I would say there are 4 big, smaller business units we have under the cybersecurity hood. The first one is, we call that as unified endpoint security, which is mostly the Cylance product, the endpoint protection. I just talked about it. It is the EDR, the endpoint detection and response, and we have got the managed XDR, which is the managed detection and response part of it, which is 24/7, 365 days. We have got our own managed service where the very, very trained SOC analysts are sitting there and providing advantage to our customers in making, in doing the incident response in a much more effective way. So that's the one part of the business. The second part of the business is, we call that as ad hoc, which is the critical event management system. So think about when countries in an emergency situation, or even the corporate, when they're in emergency situation, they can use that. And this is a two-way communication, right? You can alert your employees, you can alert your citizens, and also citizens can respond back to you. So that's another one which I think we are doing really, really well in that market segment. The third part is the Secure Smart, we call, which is the secure communication for the voice and the messaging part of it. Most of the federal government, they actually use that part of it. So that's the third part which we are doing really well. And the last part is the unified endpoint management, the UEM, the MDM, the mobile device management. And think about that, Andrew, that when we are doing the transformation of software from mobile company, MDM was our crown jewel. Right, because this was built on the very strong backbone of the secure communications and things like that. That was our DNA. And most of our customers enjoy the secure workspace. They enjoy the personas. It's a contextual based policy which gets implemented and all of that. So very broad, rich portfolio. You can think about it.
It's
what we have from the cybersecurity point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's great for you to spell that out for us, so we really see the breadth of your investment in this area.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of things you spoke about there, and we're at Cybersecurity World Asia. There's a lot of companies here, and one of the things that we see in the security space is there's a lot of collaboration and even like an ecosystem. So do you see that? And when you're at an event like this, what are some of the things that you're looking for from BlackBerry's point of view, and what do you feel that customers and clients can get from coming to an event like this?
That's a great question, Andrew. So if you look at from the customer's point of view, right? Customers, I would say that they have got multiple products in their environment.
Yeah.
Slowly they're getting tired of it because they are seeing so many alerts. They are seeing the fatigues.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to make sense out of it. Think about, you've got the 20 smartest people in the world in a room, but those 20 people speak 20 different languages. So there is no collaboration happening in between them. There is no threat intelligence sharing happening between them. So there is a need of our there that to make sure that we have a common way of doing a statistical correlation as well as, I would say, threat correlation. And you can get the intelligence from all these control points, the sensor points, but customers are actually looking for how many threats I'm getting, am I impacted? If I'm impacted, how quickly you can resolve my problem, how can you give me the incident response which matters to me, right? The partners are looking for ecosystem. They're looking for the better TCO, right? They're looking for easy onboarding. They're looking for easy way of getting their customers so that they can have much better business. So that's the managed partner's point of view. The last one is from our point of view is to making sure we have got the right efficacy. Right? We are on the top of all the modern threats so that we can be much more predictive. We can be much more prescriptive to our customers. Because I think this is the time when we can use a lot of AI ML tools, and I know it's that word is used by everybody.
But it's getting real now.
But it's getting real now. This is the time where you can take a lot of this data, you can process it, and you can really quickly get to those important threats in a few seconds, actually. Or in a few minutes.
Understood and agree. And I think that as you said, that tiredness of having to look in multiple places is something that's definitely affecting people. One of the things that I think a lot of people would want to do if they're sitting here and they were me is if they've got the CTO of BlackBerry opposite them, they want to say, okay, we're getting to the end of the year, we're looking into 2023. What do you think are the new issues, the new threats that people should be thinking about as they start to strategize for the coming year?
So let me talk about the new threats which I am worried about, which I feel like in 2023 we should be thinking about it a little bit more deeply. The first one is all about understanding your own privacy. Right? And when I say privacy, I'll give a simple example. People, when they're traveling, they don't even turn off their GPS. It's very, very easy for anybody to know where I am traveling, where I'm in a particular place. That makes it easier for hackers to go after me. Because they are looking for a weaker link. If they want to hack into me, they know exactly where I am. Very minor thing, but people should be thinking about.
Correct.
The second one I would say is about the social engineering, right? I mean, there is so much information out there, your personal information out there, that it's easy for anybody to know, either going through the LinkedIn or the Facebook or whatever it is, they will have much more information more than I would like them to have. Right? So they have to be careful. And also I would say that social, media teams or those people should be a little bit more responsible in making sure that the data privacy is the top, requirement for them, right? The last one I would say is the Web3. I know there was a crypto crash and all of that, the blockchain technologies and all kind of stuff, and they are still dealing with a lot of the data privacy issues. But I believe that that's another one we should be watching out for. We saw the Solana, the Nomad, those all the viruses actually impacted that part of it, and I think this technology will be evolving much more. I think we should be keeping a watch on that part as well. Right?
That is really, really good advice. I like all three of those, and I think the Web3 is very interesting, but the social engineering is also a real problem right now. So, hey, listen, just one more question for you before we wrap up, and I think you've talked about some of the major concerns that you think people should have. But have you got any advice for CTOs and CISOs about how they can create sustained awareness about some of these issues that you've mentioned?
Absolutely. Yeah. The way I would think, Andrew, is that, there are a couple of advice I have.
Yeah.
The first one is that we really need to make sure that you have the right prevention, protection technologies, which are really, really solid.
Yeah.
And that's the first layer of defense you have.
Of course, yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I think this is a time where you have to go and look at your normal IT infrastructure and see, is there any way you can modernize that one?
Yeah.
And the part which I'm hinting here is the zero trust framework.
Okay.
I know that word is very popular now.
Yeah.
But I will break it.
But it's very important
It's
as well.
very important. I'll break it very simple. I'll make it very simple for you. It has got three basic parts. The first part is making sure that you have a secure connectivity from managed and unmanaged devices, from remote offices, from remote locations into the cloud. Because most of the people are working from home nowadays. They're working from anywhere. So it's really important that how you make sure those users are accessing those applications and you have the visibility of the data.
Correct.
What kind of data is shared, where it is there, right? And if there is any data exfiltration happening, if there are insider threats happening. So the data awareness is the center of gravity in the zero trust framework. So that's the number one part of it. The second part I would say is that they need to evolve a zero trust policy. Think of that zero trust policy is the Delta policy, which gets implemented based on the continuous monitoring, and it's a contextual based policy.
Yeah.
So depending on where Andrew is moving and how safe it is for him to access this particular data, it gets decided by the zero trust policy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they need to evolve the zero trust policy because this is going to be, never trust, always verify kind of thing, right? That's the world we are moving in.
Absolutely,
because of the multi-cloud infrastructure, because of all of that digital transformation which is happening in front of us.
Yeah.
And the last part of the equation is, or the last part of the puzzle I would say is, there's a lot of development happening in the cloud, right?
Yeah.
So we have to be really integrating the security postures into the DevOps framework.
Yeah.
So that from the beginning, from the start, you have the right security postures and you're not making any mistakes because those mistakes are going to live in the cloud forever.
Yeah.
And anybody can go and exploit that. Think about that for a moment. Nowadays we have got the connected vehicles.
Yeah.
Right? There's a tremendous amount of software is getting written, right? And all of these cars who are using this software-based platform, if that gets weaponized, we are talking about cars, really becoming much more
drones and everything. Yeah,
exactly.
So
think about all that, and I would say the zero trust framework needs a serious consideration. I would say the IT infrastructure, the whole network segmentation, application segmentation, who is authorized to use what kind of applications needs to be decided as part of the zero trust policy.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. Been great having you here today. If you want to find out more about BlackBerry security, definitely come to cybersecurityasian.com. We do a lot with BlackBerry. We've covered a lot of the things they do. It's fascinating stuff, and it's been really interesting speaking to you. I love the advice on zero trust and how you positioned it. So thank you again for that.
Thank you so much, Andrew, and thank you for having me here.
No problem at all. So we will take a quick break, and we will be back with Kevin Pang from Beyond Trust. But thanks again, Shashir.
Thank you, Andrew. Okay.
Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands.
First time doing a live broadcast.
Hi and welcome back. I'm here with Kevin Pang from Beyond Trust from Marina Bay Sands, Cybersecurity World Asia 2022. And we're going to be chatting with Kevin a little bit about what Beyond Trust are up to at the show and some of their announcements and things like that. So I'm looking forward to our chat. But Kevin, before we get into things, just how's the show been for you so far?
It's been really great. The crowd is good.
Yeah.
We've got good leads,
Yeah.
good opportunities to speak to different customers from different industry, different countries even.
Yeah.
And I've been sharing my deck of presentation across third-party attackers, third-party vendors, supply chain attacks, and stuff like ransomware. How are we going to protect ourselves against ransomware, and also the path to achieving a zero trust security strategy.
Okay, excellent. So, hey, listen, before we get more into some of the depth of stuff, why don't you just give people a background, a little bit about yourself, and also, a lot of people know Beyond Trust, but some people don't. So maybe give a little overview of that as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
So myself, I am with the solutions engineering team.
Yeah.
My responsibility includes understanding my customers' privilege access requirements,
Yeah.
and also shaping our solutions to meet security best practices and help enable business for them.
Yeah.
My personal goal is
Yeah.
to become a trusted advisor to the people we meet,
Yeah.
and to bring out my best value to them.
Okay. Okay. And then just a little one on Beyond Trust. What's your key area that you look at for Beyond Trust?
Beyond Trust is the solutions provider to intelligent identity and access security. We empower organizations to protect identities and stop threats, deliver a dynamic access to enable a truly work from anywhere world.
Okay.
We have moved on from the paradigm of traditional office space
Yeah.
to a more remote working.
For sure. Yeah,
Thanks
we
to
have.
COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
myself,
we're not going
I'll-
back anytime soon.
No,
yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
not. It
Yeah.
becomes one of the key requirements
Yeah.
when you job hunt. Can
Yeah.
we work from home?
I know. Yeah,
And
it's
that's
so
what-
true. That's so true. So,
And it becomes a habit for me as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the ability to not commute somewhere,
yeah.
to sleep the extra hour, to take
Yeah.
the extra lunch break is
It's
so
good.
much of a
But
privilege
you
to all
guys
of us.
keep that secure. So.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So have you got, with it being the big expo, do you have any announcements or things that you're telling people here this week?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we did some ASEAN level survey to check out about how organizations fare against, rather how prepared, how ready are they
Yeah.
towards adopting a zero trust strategy.
Yeah.
Everybody is shifting from a perimeterless to more of a zero trust, work from anywhere
Yeah.
environment, right?
Yeah.
So surprisingly, it came to be that 97% of organizations,
Yeah.
they have not yet adopted the zero trust fundamentals, a satisfactory result in their zero trust fundamentals adoptions.
Yeah.
So we are here in the CSW, we are here to help you, to educate you, to help you move towards a perimeterless security environment with the help of our zero trust strategy, how we can achieve these zero trust fundamentals with our products like Beyond Trust.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, and I think a lot of people are still a little confused about what zero trust really. There's so much
Exactly.
about it.
It is.
Like you said, so becoming a trusted advisor is key. Yeah.
It has become a buzzword.
Yeah.
So people are throwing zero trust everywhere. I'm
Yeah.
selling a product that enables zero trust. I am enabling zero trust to you, but the basic understanding of zero trust is not a product, surprisingly.
Correct. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is a mindset. It is a framework. It is
Yeah.
an idea of I am discarding all my traditional security resources in favor to a newer security models that focuses on user assets and identities.
Yeah.
So that's what zero trust is about. The easiest way to understand zero trust is, this is from NIST, NIST,
Yeah.
is the airport security model.
Yeah.
So at the airport, what are we protecting? Airplanes, right?
I would think so. Yeah. So,
Airplanes from potential people who want to bomb the
Yeah.
airplane. So taking on this challenge is very difficult
Yeah.
because thousands and hundreds of thousands of people goes to the airport for various reasons. So an inverted solution will need to take place, where instead of screening everybody, we screen a handful of people, and this handful of people would have a valid boarding pass, a valid passport.
yeah.
So that is where we screen them. We shrink the immense number of people to that handful of passenger who has a valid reason to fly.
Yeah.
So by placing security checkpoint at these different stages, ensuring that identity is authenticated, they are authorized to board the plane, their bags has been checked before they are allowed to proceed.
Yeah.
Right. Zero trust security model takes upon this concept as well. So instead of protecting airplanes, we are now protecting data and resources by placing authentication, authorization, and auditing security checks at every point of the resource.
The way, yeah, it makes sense. So that's a good way to think about how zero trust has to play out. So it's a interesting way to put it. When you look at a show like this, how important is it for the security ecosystem to be doing shows like this?
You're very correct when we talk about cybersecurity as an ecosystem.
Yeah.
Right. Even in fact for identity and access vendors like us as well, there's no one single silver bullet to fix all your security problems.
Yeah.
So for example, for us, we have a technology partner, Tenable, over there. Beyond Trust and Tenable are technology partners. So by combining Beyond Trust and Tenable solutions together, we get the benefit of both worlds. Right. But organizations can achieve continuous discovery of threats, manage vulnerabilities, and using our highly secure remote access to things like IT, OT, cloud environment, containers, mobile apps, and more.
Yeah, so that collaboration really shows here actually.
Yes,
it's probably quite unique to the security space. I'm going to ask you a slightly unfair question, but you can try and answer. If you were to give one piece of advice to CISOs about what to look for in the next year, what do you think is the threat that's coming that people need to think about?
So, cybersecurity threat is always evolving.
Yeah.
They are not going to stop at one tactic or one strategy. They are going to evolve, just like how technology evolved, right?
Yeah.
So one thing that I see is going to impact us very drastically. That is ransomware.
Okay.
Right. Ransomware is no longer just encrypting, locking down your company data. It has evolved to kind of like a triple threat. Right? Instead of just encrypting your information, they are stealing it, extorting money out of you.
Yeah.
They're going to threaten to release your information to the public.
Yeah.
So as ransomware evolves, we have to ask why. Why is it evolving?
Yeah.
Because it is a very successful business model.
Yeah.
Ransomware is a successful business model.
Because
if you take a look at the increased number of attacks that occurs, the increased number of payout,
is commensurate with it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It shows that from a business model, it is very successful. So if this business model is working out for me, why should I change it?
Yeah.
I might as well work on it, improve on it.
Yeah,
to get more money.
It's an interesting point, and a few people have talked about this continuing evolving threat of ransomware.
Yes.
So I think it's a definitely good advice for people.
There is one important point.
Yeah.
Ransomware and malware, no matter how much they evolve, they need one thing. Make a guess.
Go on, you tell me.
Privileged credentials, right? Any malware that needs to make changes to an operating system, to a resource, they need privileged credentials.
Yeah.
Right. If we are able to limit that credentials, limit that privilege, we cripple them.
Yeah.
Right. Limiting privilege would also benefit you in a way that you are reducing the capabilities of a zero-day exploit, because most of these requires privilege to work well.
And that's the way that Beyond Trust help with your malware ransomware defense. Kevin, it's been really good speaking to you. Really appreciate your time. I hope you, I don't know if you've already presented, but I hope the presentations go well.
I do have one more coming up at 3 p.m.
Okay.
So that is about the path to zero trust.
So excellent. So good luck with that.
Thank you so much.
And again, thanks very much for your time. We're going to take a quick break now, and we'll be back in a few minutes with Jermaine from Darktrace. But once again, thanks, Kevin.
Thank you all so much.
Live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great
Hi, welcome back. I'm with Jermaine from Darktrace, a company I'm really looking forward to speaking to because I've, as I was mentioning to Jermaine a minute ago, I've seen their advertising at so many airports, so I'm interested to find out more about them. Jermaine, thanks so much for dropping by to see us.
Hi.
How's the show been for you so far? Has it been good?
Been a really exciting 2 days, I have to say.
Yeah.
A lot of great profiles of people that we have seen here today. Really exciting.
Excellent. So listen, before we dive in, why don't you just tell us maybe a little bit about yourself and just an overview of Darktrace. Yeah.
So my name is Jermaine. I'm the Director of Analysis for Darktrace and I'm based in the Asia Pacific region. In the past, I guess 5 years, I've been in Darktrace. I focus mostly on working with security teams and CISOs from all over APAC and helping them to achieve their operational and risk goals using Darktrace. Okay, and then why don't you tell us a little bit more specifically about what does Darktrace do? How do you protect your clients? So we're a global leader in AI cybersecurity.
Okay.
We were founded in 2013 together with mathematicians as well as cyber defense experts trying to solve holistically really a cybersecurity problem. And the way we do that is that what we call a cyber AI loop, where we feed back into each other and help our customers prevent, detect, respond to and heal from very sophisticated and novel attacks.
Okay, so you kind of, are you almost like an extra layer that needs to be there over and above the kind of standard malware protection and things like that?
We're a holistic approach, I think, because cybersecurity in your entire strategy and risk posture, it can't be done in siloed. It has to be dynamic. It's not a static kind of a strategy. So we're trying to do it in a loop format that feeds back to each other with cyber AI insights, and that will holistically bring up the entire quality of cyber risk for an entire organization.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So given what you do, can you tell us maybe like some of the most prevalent trends you've seen this year And are you able to make any predictions about what the trends you're expecting to see as we move into next year?
Yeah, that's a great question. I really like to talk about this.
Okay.
So we've seen quite a number of recurring trends in 2022, and I wanted to highlight some of those that I think will continue to be relevant in 2023 next year. So the first one is supply chain attacks. We've seen attackers utilizing this channel more and more, making use of the trusted relationship with these trusted third parties, whether it's source code or even pretending to be these trusted correspondents in email and phishing campaigns. Right, that's one. Second one is also a very popular topic for everyone's ransomware.
Yeah.
And we continue to see that being relevant just because of the nature of the return on investment for these attackers, right? The dollar payout at the end of the day continues to be there.
Yeah.
And last one is also something where I think a lot of security teams struggle with. It's insider threats. So in the past 2 years, we've seen the great migration where we see a lot of employees moving from companies to companies, and with that move, they bring very sensitive information and business insights to different companies. So how do we protect that information as people move across different organizations? And that continues to be a major concern for a lot of the security teams and businesses.
Okay, excellent. And so I guess getting the chance to speak to an analyst, I get that level of detail back from you that is really interesting, because most people that I've spoken to have talked about ransomware, the threat of ransomware and how it's evolving.
Yeah.
But I think the other two that you mentioned, the insider threat and supply chain threat attacks, is very, very interesting. And to me, it often gets overlooked. So it's interesting that you see it that you see it as a big trend. How about, based on what you see and what, from the analysis you do you see regional differences in the threats? So obviously we're in Singapore, so are there like regional differences for Southeast Asia that you see in terms of the trends that you look at?
So I think definitely regional differences, trends tend to come because these trends, attackers tend to follow these cultural and social, societal trends, and when that change in different regions, the threats also change as well.
Yeah.
So in areas where the job hunt continues to be very relevant, especially in the Philippines, we see an increase in trend where attackers try to phish, pretending to offer jobs and try to get the public to react to those messages.
Yeah.
During COVID, we saw a lot of phishing attempts related to that, definitely. But we also see, due to the way people do tracking, movement tracking, the QR codes, abusing QR codes for these attacks.
Oh,
so
really?
we do see those threats changing in different regions as well, depending on what kind of tracking method you use, what's the most concerning kind of topic for the society at that point in time.
Yeah, so, and I guess it stands to reason in a way that people will localize their message, just like marketers do. Cyber attackers are going to do that as well. So, okay. You mentioned at the start when you were talking about what Darktrace does, that you really help with sophisticated attacks. So coming back to that topic, do you have advice for how businesses can protect themselves from what are increasingly becoming more sophisticated attacks?
Exactly. I think we need to also focus on being more proactive instead of only being reactive. Most businesses that I work with, they know how to react when ABC happens. But if they don't know what XYZ is, they're not prepared for that. So we need to shift to a more proactive stance.
Okay.
It's also to remain network visibility, whether it's on-prem or in the cloud or in the endpoint, working from home. To maintain the extent of visibility in a network is very important, and couple that with autonomous response. To be honest, a lot of teams that I work with, they're very prepared for these incident response plans. They know how to kick it in, but they're all very manual. Right?
Okay.
But the reality is that when faced with a large, sophisticated attack that's very fast-moving, no matter how big your team is, no matter how experienced they are, they're no match for a fast-moving attack that's moving at machine speed.
Yeah.
So that continues to be how we kind of value add to the businesses that we work with.
Okay, that's interesting. So you that autonomous response. If you don't have that, you could be running behind from day one.
Because they're moving so fast.
Yeah.
No human's going to react this.
And does that then, in your experience, does that then buy time for individuals with experience to then think a little bit more deeply about what they do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the AI comes in to help augment the human team. They help buy time, like you said, so that a human comes in and says, okay, now I can make the decision, how harsh of an action do I want to take, which response do I want to take in. I can make the high-level decisions so that it takes a lot of time and stress off the human teams.
Okay. Knowing a little bit about what you do, and taking advantage of that you're here, I know the kind of things that people would want to ask you if they were sitting here. So, do you have like any like golden nuggets of advice that you would just give to everyday consumers? Yeah, so rather than the big corporates, but just everyday consumers, what should they be doing?
Of course. I think one thing would be to continue to be very vigilant, because at the end of the day, we're only human. Sometimes it's only you may feel like you would never, I would never fall for this. This looks so obvious to be a scam. Why would I fall for it? But we're only human. It's only natural for us to click on something. Don't believe if something's too good to be true. Right? Some basic cyber hygiene practices, changing your passwords, checking links, and really just keeping in mind all this will go a long way. Yeah. I like the don't believe if something's too good to be true, because it still always works. I know.
It works. I guess when people see something they want, they are more easily fooled.
The reason why attackers are still doing it is because it works.
Exactly.
Someone out there, someone's going to click on it.
Yeah. So it's part of security training to tell people that. We'll wrap up shortly, but I've got just one more question for you, which is really so you can just tell us a little bit more about Darktrace. But can you give us just some idea of what your plans are and your activities that you're going to be planning to do in 2023?
So in 2023, I think we continue to be very innovative. Throughout the years, that has always been the case, and I don't think 2023 will be any exception. In fact, we recently just published a white paper in our Cyber AI Research Labs about attack path modeling, which underpins our recent family offering, Prevent, which is a more proactive approach to cybersecurity. And of course, in the long run, we also hope to continue to contribute to the cybersecurity industry in terms of best practices and AI knowledge, so that as an industry, we can continue to reach greater heights.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So really enjoyed speaking to you, Jermaine. And I think now when I next go through an airport and I see the Darktrace advert, I'm going to at least know a little bit more about what they do. We're going to take a little break now. We'll be back with OVH Cloud. But once again, Jermaine, really appreciate you taking the time and thanks again.
Thank you very much.
From Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream.
Hi, welcome back. I'm here with Aaron from Sophos, and we're going to have a chat about what they're up to at the show, and I guess anything else that Aaron wants to tell us, although hopefully about security.
All about security.
Excellent. So how's the show been so far for you guys?
It's been pretty exciting. It's my first big show in quite a while, since everything has happened. And just being in a mix of security, which is my domain, but also the digital transformation, the physical security aspects, everything else. It's a good intermix because security is everybody's responsibility.
Yeah,
so it's great to have conversations with private individuals and organisations about, security in general.
Yeah, excellent. So listen, I know most people will know of Sophos for sure, but do you want to just maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and a bit about Sophos also?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm Aaron. I'm a global solutions engineer with Sophos. Been with the company for just on 18 years now.
Did you just say 18 years?
18 years, yeah.
Okay, all right. So you know a thing or two about the company.
Yeah, I've seen it go from little tiny bells to big rocks as we are today.
Yeah.
But the thing from my experience is seeing the rise and shift in simple things like just knocking malware on the head to really talking about what risk is to an organisation, how we can counter risk, how we can identify risk, mitigate risk. And products are one thing and technical controls are other, but there's just so much more to security these days because that threat landscape is becoming so much more complex.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So it starts with I guess it's more about a strategy and a mindset than a solution, right? So
Correct. So from our perspective, what we've been really refining in this day and age is not only covering multiple facets of security on people's networks, their endpoints, their mobile devices and their networks and how they access, but trying to bring that all together with a combination of not only our tools and a variety of others too.
Absolutely. So, kind of moving on slightly, as I said, I think people do know Sophos, but is there anything, have there been recent product announcements or things that you've launched in the near past that you want to share with us and let people know?
Yeah, so the biggest development we've made in the last few years is really tackling that services aspect. I mean, we've seen, in the last couple of years, people have been asking for help. So as the threat landscape becomes a lot more complicated and people struggle to sort of fill, technical roles because of the cyber skill shortage, and having more complex networks and various different solutions, organisations can't dedicate time to security 100% and build their business the way they want to. So from our perspective, there's been real opportunity to actually come in and help in an organisation, whether they're facing an active threat they're having trouble remediating it, or if they actually want help to build some long-term cyber resiliency, we're coming in with services and it's just strapping all of those technologies together and offering it as a packaged bundle that they can use. We call this cybersecurity as a service, and that's been our major sort of change in the last little while.
Yeah, and I can see that. I think that even companies with people that felt they were on top of things a few short years ago, the challenge is so much more now. I don't think anyone can do it on their own anymore.
No, absolutely, yeah. They're just that going at it alone. I think a lot of people are capable, but things have to drop off.
Yeah.
If you're focusing 100% on one area, you've got nothing else to put elsewhere. So I understand people needing help is a natural part of life, and we're here to do that.
Yeah. So one of the things we see is we feel that more than any other part of the industry, that cybersecurity is a little bit of an ecosystem. So do you see that, and do you see that these kind of shows have a special benefit for security companies?
Absolutely. So from an ecosystem standpoint, I mentioned it before, I mean, cybersecurity is a team sport.
Yeah.
So I think if you think that you can do anything and everything and do it 100%, there's a little bit of you're kidding yourself.
Yeah.
So there's a whole reliance on working together, and the big notice that I've seen in the industry between vendors and partners and technology enthusiasts is that everybody's a lot more willing to share.
Yeah.
Like, and this is what we're starting to open the doors to, expose our 38 years of expertise in malware analysis, and being good at what we're doing with services, and then ingesting information from third parties and just building a better cybersecurity outcome for everybody by working together, and that's going to be a real benefit for others.
Yeah, and I think that I see that in this whole, there's a lot of talk about XDR, but I think if there's no sharing, XDR can't really work. Okay?
I mean, XDR at its core is all about taking those different signals, correlating them together, and looking for those real, true anomalies.
Yeah.
From an industry standpoint, this is where a lot of those point products that are really good at, say, doing one thing, they're opening up the doors to say, hey, we can detect these things really well. Why don't you take those strong signals and put it into your pool of information so that we can work together to really point the finger where the bad guys and girls are coming from. So from our perspective, it's been all about opening the doors, sharing information, being reciprocal and taking information from other parties, and just really making an impact to people's cyber resilience and kicking out the bad guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess, and that's why there is this ecosystem kind of feel. Given the role that you do, I don't know the details, but I'm making the assumption that you are exposed to a lot of situations where people have security issues. So with all that kind of knowledge that you get from all over the world, any advice to CISOs for what might be coming? What should they be looking at down the line?
Yeah, the big thing from our own perspective and what we're seeing is that there's a couple of different areas that we commonly find are problematic to a lot. That is making sure they've got the basics right, and then validating them. So far too many organisations, I don't want to use the word assume, but just think that everything is dotted and crossed and they can move on. And it's not until something really bad happens that they go, oh, we thought we were covered, and there's a whole breakdown of the cybersecurity resilience pyramid.
Yeah.
That's one thing, is making sure that basic hygiene, the basics are done right, but also from an identity aspect, is making sure we understand how users are interfacing with an environment, how they're persistently given access, how could they be taken advantage of, and really working together from the top level of organisations, inclusive of boards, all the way down to our users to ensure that everybody's playing cybersecurity.
Yeah, team sport.
Team sport, that's it, thank you.
Excellent. So I think that's a great note to end on. Aaron, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Very interesting stuff. If you want to find out more about Sophos, they're here at the show, and we also cover a lot of what they do on cybersecurityasian.com. We're going to take a short break now and be back with OVH Cloud, but once again, thanks again, Aaron.
Thanks, Andrew.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
From Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream.
Hi, welcome back. I'm here with Lionel from OVH Cloud. We're at Cybersecurity World Asia 2022. And I think it's going to be a little bit of a different conversation with Lionel because obviously they are a cloud and data center provider. So we're going to have a different kind of conversation from the typical security one. I'm looking forward to that. So Lionel, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for the invitation.
Excellent. And are you enjoying it here so far?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very happy to be back on an event like that after 3 years without any event. So it's
it's a long.
pleasure.
Yeah, it's been too long. So. Just before we get into some specific questions, I think most people do know who you guys are, but maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about OVH.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I'm Lionel Ligros. I'm the General Manager for Asia Pacific in OVH Cloud, and I have been into the cloud and data center industry for more than 10 years now. OVH Cloud is the European alternative on the cloud market in front of American and Chinese players. And we provide open, reversible and transparent cloud with two main pillars, infrastructure as a service, the bare metal, the hosted private cloud or public cloud, and platform as a service solution, mainly based on open technologies.
Yeah. And I from the past, I know you as that kind of infrastructure as a service provider, but the platform stuff is becoming more important, I think.
Exactly, yeah. A year ago, we started a huge move to the PaaS. Yeah. We now have more than 80 PaaS solutions available as well. So
and it makes a lot of sense.
Definitely.
So here we are. So we're at Cloud Expo. Do you have any kind of announcements or anything new that you want to tell us about? Because there's a lot of announcements that happen here.
Well, definitely. I mean, and this week is pretty amazing for the cybersecurity because there is also a major event in Europe for the cybersecurity. You know.
That's true.
So it's for us. We share our ambition and our commitment to the highest standards, which is called Secnum Cloud for the IaaS and PaaS solution, and we want to provide, and we announce a unique solution on the market, which is called the data center as a service, where we want to offer the values of the public cloud, so the flexibility, the control panel, the billing model, but physically on site for our customers, isolated and fully dedicated for our customers.
So physically back at the customer's premise? Or?
Exactly. So
wow.
Depending on for some customers, such as government agencies or corporate and so on, that need to that have constraints in terms of data allocation, we are able to go on site to deliver, to provide our servers, our cloud stack, to manage it, sometimes to disconnect it from internet for very specific workloads. And they're consuming just cloud solutions as any public cloud solution, but it's running within their data center.
Ah, okay, that is a big announcement. It's there's not that many people offering that kind of service. So
what there is in the market is mainly infrastructures to move to the cloud or to
correct.
interconnect.
Yes,
We are bringing it on site to the customer, so that's on the other way where the public cloud is running directly on site for the customer.
Yeah. So, and I assume that part of the reason why you're doing that is to do with security and data sovereignty, those kind of issues. Is that correct?
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's a huge concern today for most of the user.
Yeah.
In terms of data security and data regulation. There is 3 main regulations right now in the world. In US, the Cloud Act, the Patriot Act.
Yeah.
It can allow also some US government sometimes to have access to your data all over the world if you're working with an American cloud provider.
Yeah.
There is the Chinese regulation that they are protecting their market, and there is the European regulation mainly to protect the data of the user, to be sure that you have the consent when you're using the data of the user.
Yeah.
So we are running this kind of product, and solution to be sure that all the customers that have to manage very sensitive workload, the defense, healthcare, and a lot of other verticals can have a very secure infrastructure, which is compliant right now, and without any extraterritorial regulation as well.
Yeah. I imagine that's a problem that's only going to get bigger for more companies, the territorial regulation.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's involved, all the companies, all the verticals. We discussed about government agencies, definitely, the defense, that have a huge concern for that. But there is also some verticals that are regulated, healthcare, finance, telecommunication. But we can have, all the different kind of enterprise also that are managing patents or R&D, and they don't want to be under extraterritorial regulation.
Yeah.
And they want to keep also this infrastructure fully secure.
Yeah, it's a really it's an interesting topic, and like I said, I know it's touching more and more people. So with this regulatory compliance in mind, how do you feel that's going to affect things like multi-cloud? Is it going to have an impact on how multi-cloud evolves?
Definitely, and there is some ESG research that recently did estimate that 60% right now of the enterprise that moved to the cloud already engaged or are going to engage in the very near future into the multi-cloud strategy.
Yeah.
And it's very important for different points. The first one is reduce your dependency with the cloud provider. Try to use as much as possible open technologies for the reversibility. You don't want to be locked with one cloud provider, so you need to engage into a multi-cloud strategy. It's very important for your go-to-market. I was explaining the different regulations, so if you plan to expand in US, in Europe, or in Asia, have the right cloud provider to support your expansion. And that's very important also sometimes for specific use cases. You want to have, for example, the flexibility of the cloud for your development team. You want to have some workload very fully secure on site and managed by your cloud provider.
Yeah.
You want to mix also the different scenarios. So that's why I think that the multi-cloud strategy is definitely going to increase a lot over the next few years.
Yeah, and I guess more and more, I would assume increasing amounts of verticals will become affected by that. And on that question, when we look at different verticals and different industries, right now, which industries do you feel would benefit most from your data center as a service solutions, and why those industries? Yeah.
It came first from government agencies, because the data allocation for most of the government is very important, for the defense as well. So it was one of the main vertical, and that's why we started also to work on this data center that can be disconnected from internet sometimes.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of right now industries such as the finance, such as healthcare, because the workload is very sensitive, that want to have access also to this data center as a service solution. And the last but not the least is some industries that are managing patents. Patent is definitely an asset for you know, for these industries, and they want to be sure that any other government can have access to the R&D, you know, and try to secure as much as possible their infrastructure as well.
And you know, I can see that there's for anything that I would call is mission or life critical, the ability to air gap your data center from the rest of the cloud is really important.
But still bringing all the attributes of the cloud. It means that they have access to this level of security, but they're consuming cloud resources with the same flexibility, with the same APIs, you know.
So you get the benefit of both.
Exactly.
So it's very, very interesting stuff, but we don't have a lot of time. So I'm just going to ask you one last question, which is probably quite important, which is when it comes to selecting data center as a service provider, how do businesses make sure they make the right choice?
Well, I think we would be looking for what I call trusted cloud. So it means a cloud provider or a solution which is based on open technology first, for the reversibility, because that's a huge move. You don't want to be locked with these vendors, so using open technology is something which is very important. The reversibility and be able to engage with this multi-cloud is something which is very important. So having this trusted cloud where you're working end-to-end with a cloud provider that have this transparency, this level of transparency is very important.
That makes a lot of sense. So before I wrap up, is there anything else you want to mention or anything else you want to say before we clear up today?
No, but definitely we are. Very happy to share more about this solution. And thank you so much for the invitation today.
No, I really appreciate the time, and it's very interesting stuff. So thanks very much, Lionel. So with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Wasabi Technologies very shortly, but I'll just say thanks again to Lionel. And if you want to find out more about OVH Cloud, obviously they're at the Expo now, and we've definitely covered them on several of our websites, including cybersecurityasian.com. Thanks again, Lionel.
Thank you.
On Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event. Stay tuned, we're going to get started again soon. Coming up next on this CSA live stream from Cybersecurity World Expo 2022 at Marina Bay Sands, more great live stream interviews with experts and speakers who are here at the event.
Hi, I'm back here with Sunny from Wasabi, and he's going to be actually our last interview of Cybersecurity World Asia 2022. So it's been a long couple of days, but actually I've been looking forward to speaking to Wasabi anyway, so I'm still kind of somewhat energized to have the chance to speak to Sunny. So Sunny, great to have you with us, and we're getting to the end of the show, but how's it been for you so far?
Right. Hey, thanks for having me here, Andrew, because it's been turbocharged, right? 2 days filled of lots of activities, lots of engagement. Now, while I'm relatively new to Wasabi, right, but I've never seen the amount of excitement and the kind of engagement we've been getting the past 2 days.
So excellent. And do you want to tell us, I know you are quite new to Wasabi, but do you want to tell us a little bit about your role and just a little bit about Wasabi for some of the people that haven't come across you before?
Oh, certainly. So let me start with, my role, right, and what I do. So as country manager for Southeast Asia, my singular purpose is to actually turbocharge, right, Wasabi's growth trajectory in this region. Right, and primarily, right, we are looking at how do we map ourselves to all these opportunities that's been sprouting all over in large enterprises, in SMBs.
Yeah.
So while I take care of the overall operations, including sales, one of my key objectives is to make sure that the product continues to scale and continue to be able to be accessible.
Yeah.
Right? And be a choice, a real and relevant choice for cloud adoption across Southeast Asia.
Okay,
right?
excellent.
And then with that, right, I'm going to talk a little bit about Wasabi.
Yeah,
right?
please.
So at Wasabi, we do one thing. And the single thing that we do and we focus on is hot cloud storage.
Yeah.
Right? And in hot cloud storage, well, if the audience, right, they kind of understand exactly what the likes of AWS do, Google, as well as Microsoft. Wasabi's focus is really to look at how can we really bring hot cloud storage to the table with a new economics, whereby what we bring about is not just accessibility in terms of price, but we provide a model whereby there's zero egress charges. So what it means to the client is that it doesn't cost them to put anything in Wasabi. It doesn't cost them anything to take out of Wasabi. Right? So all they pay is what they use.
What they're using at the time, which is different from a lot of the others. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So interesting. So we're here at the show, and we see there's a definite feeling of an ecosystem here. So when you come to a show like this, do you get that feeling? Do you get the chance to kind of build your own ecosystem?
Yeah. Well, that's a fabulous question, Andrew. I would not say that our perspective is to build our own, because then your tendency where you go with that is that when it's your own, it's closed.
Yeah.
So our approach is really keep it really open, make it easy for partners to find, work with us, and not for just a single project, but for a long term, right? So while we talk a lot about lifetime value of customers, I focus, and my team will focus on the lifetime value with partners.
Yeah.
Right. And it's going to be a mix, right? If you look at the Wasabi website, right, we have on paper, right, we have 13,000 channel partners, customers, partners who work with us through the end customers delivering services. Partners who add the application on top of the Wasabi hot storage. So, any customers, right, enterprise or SMB, if they have a storage related requirement, they can always look up Wasabi and our alliances and our partners, right? And they'll find, we're very sure, we'll find a solution in that space.
And did you say 30,000 partners?
Oh, pardon. 13,000.
13, still a lot. That's still a lot of partners. So, is that across the globe? Is it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And thanks for bringing that up, Andrew, because as we are relatively new in Southeast Asia, our challenge and our promise is actually to grow and enrich the partner ecosystem out here as well. So we have 13,000 worldwide. But I think, I believe, right, we have the opportunity to grow this, right, within Southeast Asia, because in each of the markets that we operate in, from Vietnam to Indonesia, we will find new partners that we can work with, that will provide new relevance in terms of accessibility and resiliency for our customers.
Excellent, So, given that you are, like you mentioned at the start, you got a singular focus on cloud storage. How have you managed to kind of successfully get into and penetrate the APAC market? Because it's a very competitive market space, and you're a very focused company. So, what's been the trick? How have you managed to do it?
Right. So, the number one principle around this is simplicity, right? And yes, we leverage a lot on digital media. And basically, right, we deliver the messages across all these social media platforms. We run campaigns, massive campaigns, and a lot of customers, right? And I'm surprised myself too, being relatively new, to find that we have thousands of customers in Southeast Asia. And why? It's because the call to action is straightforward. The value proposition is simple. Customers know when you do one thing and you do it really well, customer know what to do with you. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that simplicity thing is very, very important as well. Because you can create the interest, but if people then find it difficult, it becomes difficult to then convert it. So
absolutely.
So Sunny, I've only got one more question for you, but it's probably an important one, especially considering you're kind of new into the role.
But what are your plans? So what are your plans for APAC and obviously for you for Singapore and South Asia?
Right. So one word, but I'll expand on that.
Yeah.
It's growth.
Okay. Yeah.
Hyperscale growth.
Data growth or
right. Right. And you know, look, the way we look at the entire ecosystem, right? I mean, you have the hyperscalers in place.
Yeah.
They are great. They have done a great job for a lot of the partners in the ecosystem. Occasionally, it may seem to be like we are competing, but the reality is this, right? Part of our strategy for growth is offering, right, something that is a little bit different. We make it accessible in terms of price. We make it easy in terms of no egress. But at the same time, right, we also, help customers understand that they have a choice. So we pretty much talk about hybrid and multi-cloud, which means it's going to be a fit-all strategy for most. So my ambition, right, my goal is really to be able to find and grow local teams in Southeast Asia, in the key markets that we want to operate. Because only this way can we we can have a scale-out success, right, in a sustainable fashion. And yet to be able to do it at speed.
Yeah. That's going to be your challenge, of course.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. So, but I think, given what I know about Wasabi and the offering, I think you've got a very good chance of being successful. So, we wish you luck in that.
Thank you.
And really appreciate you spending some time with us today because I know how busy it is at the show.
Thank you, Andrew. And I really appreciate the time that you have given, the airtime for us.
No problem at all. So with that actually brings us to the end of our 2 days of broadcasting at Cybersecurity World Asia 2022. The on-demand versions of all of these interviews will be available on CSA, so you can look out for that. But I will finish off again just by thanking Sunny and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.